What's up, y'all? It's your girl Mercy. It's been a while, but I wanted to talk about how I went undefeated for 12 days in a row. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's start here. All right. So as you can see, these are all of the trade setups I took while I was undefeated. I typically go for 50 points. Anything else is really just extra. And once price hits my TP2, I typically move my stop loss into break even. So as you can see all of these different setups here. This is one of the ones that I took partials and then it hit break even. So I did make profits that day. And then as you can see, here is more trades. And these are all in a row. Okay, so I really want to talk about how I pretty much went undefeated for all these days in a row. And I can even show you guys on my calendar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I started the week off good. I had 2 losses this week, but not a big deal because the risks were managed, right? I'm currently at an 82% win rate. I've won 147 trades and I've only lost 32 trades. All right, so let's just get into it. And I'll tell you guys what I typically look for. All right, so let's see. This is the 24th. I'm going to break down one of these trades that I did on here. So let's go to the 25th and I'll break this down for you guys. All right, so let's just keep on going. All right, there we go. We're at the 25th. So some things to remember is I typically only trade market opening. Okay, so market opening is 9:30 a.m. EST and 8:30 a.m. CST. All right, so let's talk about this trade right here. Let me just go back here. All right, so first things first, I know that I have buy stop liquidity on the daily time frame. All right, so if I do take any sells, I typically may want to just lower my risk a little bit than normal because there is that buy stops right there. I also have sell stop liquidity below, right? And then you also may want to put the time frame that you actually drew your sell and buy stop liquidity on, because when you scale down different time frames or up, it may look different. All right. And it's important to remember buy stops is an area where buyers are being stopped multiple times. Okay. Typically, this whole area, buyers are struggling to break. It's never one price point, it's always an area. The same thing with sell stop liquidity. Sell stop liquidity is an area, it's never one price point. Okay. And it doesn't matter if price wicks above, it's all about the close. It's struggling to close above this area. And then for here, it's struggling to close below this area here. All right. So let me go ahead and label this just in case it looks different on another time frame. All right, so let's go to the 1 hour. So it looks slightly different as you can see, but I'm going to keep it the way it is. Okay, I see that since price has gotten to this BSL line, it has been failing to swing higher. All right, and failing to swing higher. So if this is the high since price hit the BSL line, this area here failed to swing higher than here. This area here failed to swing higher than this area. Then this area here is failing to swing higher than this area. Okay, so that lets me know that price may want to potentially sell. I also see that there is imbalance below, okay, which is a strong impulsive move to the upside of the market that price may want to fill with a sell. All right, so as I keep going down, this is 8:30, so let me slow it down and let's go to 9 o'clock. All right, boom, there is 9 o'clock. So I really want to look at the most recent order block, right? All right, so I checked this most recent order block. I'd look there for entries. And I also wouldn't ignore that we have a breaker block that price is rejecting, right? A 30-minute breaker block. All right. And it's important to remember a breaker block is an order block that has been disrespected. So this is the last down candle before up move. Now, typically this would be a bullish order block, but because price broke through this order block, it was disrespected. It now becomes a breaker block that instead of looking for potential buys off of, we may see price reject it for sells. Okay. So when I do things, and if you're on my live sessions, you already know in my trading community, but we write out what we see. So we have SSL below. We have imbalance to fill. We have price failing to swing higher, okay? And then we want to put be cautious of BSL above, okay? And then my fourth, there we go. My fourth confluence would be if price rejects OB for entry. Okay. And usually, oops, I don't know why I spelled reject like that, but usually we put this after it already does it, right? If it doesn't. All right. So that's where I would look for entries at. Okay. And I also want to keep in mind there is this small little area of buy stops here. So price could also potentially come up to this area here and reject off of there. Okay. So you don't have to draw all these order blocks on your chart if you don't want to. For educational purposes, I'm just showing you guys because price may want to take the liquidity here where these buy stops are and then push down. All right, so here we go. Look at that. And price just completely dropped. So it almost came up. So if I would have drawn it from the wick, it actually rejected nicely off of it. Let's go see what I actually did for that day. So I actually ended up getting an entry off of that breaker block, right? And I caught 133 points off this trade. Okay, so when it's opening bell, you have to be aggressive. Once you see prices, rejecting typically around this area, right? I'm going to be aggressive because I know that price may not come back. Okay. And then I believe I even redefined it to a 15 breaker. So it actually worked out nicely. But as you can see, price completely rejected off of the area. Okay. And then it looks like it came back to this 30-minute order block here. And then it started to push up and then pushed up here a little bit. And then look at that. It broke it now and it's disrespecting it to become a breaker block. Remember, that's what we were talking about. Once it becomes a breaker block, right, it becomes somewhere you could sell off of. So if a bullish order block gets broken, you may want to look to sell off of it. And if a bearish order block gets broken, you may want to look to buy off of it. All right, and look at that. Another entry could have occurred here off of this breaker block. All right, and the 15 and the 30-minute are my entry time frames. Price also rejected multiple times off of this breaker block. So typically when it's opening bell, one rejection, I'll get in, right? But if it's after opening bell, like this is noon and 1 o'clock or noon and 12:30, I would want at least 2 rejections because I'm not as aggressive if I'm trading other times versus opening bell. Okay. So that was one of the trades that I took. You could see another trade here. It rejected nicely off of this 1 hour order block, right? And completely tanked for 177 points. Now this trade here got it off of, you could see this 30-minute order block here. Price only hit TP 1 and 2 and was not trying to break this daily, this buy stop liquidity area, right? So that was one of the smaller days, okay? And then we have days like this, right? Where price is failing to swing lower. So let me show you that. So price was failing to swing lower and higher. When I see days like this, I typically want to lower my risk. Okay, you see I have buy stops above and it rejected literally actually 4 times off the order block, the 4-hour order block before it took off. Okay, so remember, even though I got my rejection off the 4-hour order block, my entry still takes place on my entry time frame. Okay, and usually those lower time frames just give me more confluence. All right. Same thing with this one. It's off a 30-minute order block, right? So as you guys can see, order blocks are my entry triggers, right? Order blocks are my entry triggers. They're very, very helpful. This one here off a 15-minute order block, right? So that's pretty much how I went undefeated for all those days. Unfortunately, my winning streak has come to an end. I took 2 losses this week, which is not bad. I still ended the week in profit, but I just explained to you guys some of these trades here. This week, I only traded 2 days because I was out of town for these days and didn't really want to trade. But as you can see, came back and the winning streak continued. Okay, so that is all. And this is TradeZilla. This is what I use to journal my trades. It's very, very helpful. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're interested in my trading community, make sure you click the link in my bio, or the link below, actually. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night.